We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Encourage other believers to keep holding on. Casting the vision and we making it plain. We the head, not the tail, so we won't complain. Here to lift up the downcast and the broken hearted. Changing lives with the truth, so let's get it started. We got the word, music, entertainment, life. You can catch us on the air every Sunday night with special guests, the news, and interesting stories. A platform for the kingdom to give God the glory.
Hey, what's up and welcome. This is gospelrhythms.com, Talk Live Radio on latalklive.com. I'm Ro Williams, and sitting in for Trisha Mann Grant is the beautiful Brianna Argueta, our talent producer here at LA Talk Live, gospelrhythms.com, Talk Live Radio.
Hello, how's everyone doing? Shout out to Purpose on that track too, by the way.
Oh yes, shout outs to Purpose. And as a matter of fact,
the 25th.
you know, I gotta tell you that and much love to Van Eric, our normal engineer. He's out, so we have our none other than Richard holding it down for us. We love you, Richard. Thank you so much. And Purpose, he just really put his heart in. You know how people say they put their foot in something? He really put his heart into producing that track, because I had gone and tried, and he actually took the time to go through what we were doing, read what was written about, what our heart agenda was.
His energy is amazing, so I can just imagine how he felt.
Yeah, and you hear, you know what the show is about, and
yeah.
I mean, he nailed it.
Yeah.
And I don't have the flyer, but his wife texted me something, and one of the things that I admire about his heart, he has 10 kids, right?
Yes, I know him very personally. I did a show with him. I was actually on Hope Hop Radio.
Oh my God, yes. And you're a broadcaster yourself,
I am,
right?
I am, yeah. I
tell
broadcast
me about what you do.
I broadcast over at Long Beach City College. My show is entitled Lucky B's Hour. So I'm Lucky B, DJ Lucky B. My show is dedicated to independent and local artists, usually my youth, my age, my generation, and I play. My show runs on Thursday, so I just do Throwback Thursday of 90s and 2000 hip hop. That's what I do.
Well, I am so blessed to have you here, and I gotta tell you, with his wife, we partnered at the end of last month with her nonprofit called Meeting the Need, and it was out of Pueblo del Rio housing project, because one of the things, although we pay it forward with Joining Hearts with the kids in the spotlight. Mm-hmm. And I know here in the studio, they opened up this facility to be a blessing to kids, and they have an opportunity to come in and broadcast their show on air. And so I love that we collectively have a heart agenda to give back. But I wanted to just elevate the game this year. And so I told, Purpose and his wife, like, whatever you need, I'd love to be a part of it. So they were in the Pueblos del Rios housing project. And they actually had one of the, in one of their rec rooms, it was set up like a thrift shop. It had like clothes and shoes and Pampers and things for the kids and toys set up, and everyone that came to be given something that they needed for free. And they fed the community too. And they're doing it again on Saturday, March 21st, 2015, and that's Women's Month.
That is Women's Month.
So we gonna have to have her come in before to promote it. We just talk about that. So and I just gotta give them love, because she's like a one woman beast for the Lord, and because she went out there and hustled. And oh man, I wish next week we'll definitely have a picture of the flyer so you can get a sense of some of the images. Actually, I took a bunch of pictures. I'll put them up, because I was just in awe of how the community came together. Owners in the community. One of the like a local, like Ralph's or something, I forget the name of the store, he gave money orders. And as we raffled off money orders, because he was so grateful that the community shopped in his mart. He was like, you know what, I want to give back, and so it was an amazing event. The food, and then the artists. A matter of fact, speaking of artists, the Prodigal Son. Can we have a couple of his pictures up, Richard? Because he was actually here not last week, but the week before last, and I actually met him at that event. And so he definitely added layers to to blessing us when he was here in studio, because it was our music edition, and he was here to minister, sing, perform the Enemy Target song.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, just his story and the life that he led, like he had the kind of parenting that he had was what's the phrase you use when someone it's like his mama led him to the life in the gangs and the crime. It wasn't like she was the example of what not to do and he decided to rebel. He was like, nah, we going down. But
make you or break you.
Yeah, exactly. So we praise God. Yes. The family is out of that life. He's no longer there, and he found a passion. He found a way to serve God without abandoning his passion, because if a lot of people in the streets, and you're in hip hop, they're just married to the hip hop culture.
Yeah.
And they think that because you're a child of God that you can't enjoy operating in your gift because you have to abandon it. And he showed us that it's not so, and he brought his little nephew in, and it was just so much love, and he was just so excited that he could be a good example. And the little boy was like a preacher. Please check out the show, go back.
That's how my brother is too.
Oh yeah,
he's definitely into the whole church thing. He sometimes when he comes home, he sometimes mock the pastor. And he's really into it. And he's only 3 years old.
Oh,
so they always say, look out for him, because he might just be a preacher. He might be a bishop coming up.
Oh my goodness,
it's amazing.
Yeah, and so he sat there and he darn near gave a little message, and it was amazing because even at his young age, maybe about 10 or so, he understood that when you're listening to certain lyrics, the words, they get in your head, and it's not healthy. And if we could just instill not even just music, heck, food, just like certain things we feed our children or we allow them to be exposed to, it's just not healthy for their mind. Right. It's just not healthy for their bodies. And we as parents who do have a clue, and even if we failed ourselves, to try to set them up to live a life of success and not gravitate towards the street, if and to be there for them. Like, I think he was even like a latchkey. Mom was out there doing her thing, and so what you gonna do? You gonna do what the people in the streets are doing because you have access to it, because nobody's even monitoring you to not be out there. So
music could have been just his motivation, even then within itself. Even though you're saying that his mom kind of led him to that, he kind of, like you're saying, you drifted away from that and just used music as his motivation, as a way for him to teach what he has to offer. How old is he?
The little boy? No, he's fine. It was Prodigal his mom was banging.
That's what I'm saying. How old is Prodigal?
He's grown. He's well up there. He's as a matter of fact, it's interesting because the season of life that he's in, I'll just do windows, probably 35.
Oh, okay.
49 maybe, is that he's still relatable, because you would think, man, you don't know what it's like to be out here in these streets. What you talk about, man? You talk about you trying to rap, but you see that in Christ there's no generation gap, because it's all about spreading the message of love, and he does that to a beat that the young people can relate and gravitate to. Right. I was amazed. And you know how Purpose does it. Everything he bring is like bringing it. So thank you so much. And again, regarding his lovely wife, God bless her with them 10 beautiful children. Save the date, Saturday, March 21st, 2015, and that'll be 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the cool thing about knowing this date, you may not be able to make it out to this date, but give us a call, 877-411-3550, because we're sure you have a house full of items that you don't need. Right. I mean, it'd be a great opportunity to clean out your closet, clean out your toiletry. You may have like 25 toothpaste. Why don't you just donate the several that you don't need, that you're personally hoarding away, to bless somebody else, as they say in church. Amen.
Amen. Definitely spread the word to anyone that you might know that might be interested in that.
Or partnering, coming out and support.
March 21st.
And in supporting in prayer, And you know what? Did you know we were mobile? I think we've got a couple shots. We flash his phone. So, it's a call to action here right now, so that whatever you're in the midst of doing, please tweet, Instagram, Facebook, knock on your neighbor's door if y'all still do that. Holla. And know that we're not just confined to a computer screen. We go wherever you go. Take the party with you. What party is it? Heaven's party. That's right. So, something else we do here, and I gotta say too, with Trisha is on the road again. She is actually in Jacksonville at the Potter's House International, and she is there doing I guess it's a sold out show. It's Lady Campbell's Soul Soup Sunday, and they just did an event, or we'll be doing an event at the Ritz Theater and Museum, and it's, let's see, it says Something Miraculous, backed by popular demand. And shout outs to another amazing woman that we may need to look into having in our month, this lady Lady Campbell's. That's what they call her.
Lady Campbell's.
Toussaint Duchess. I call her Toussaint, but Duchess Campbell. But yeah, so and she's always putting on these wonderful empowerment events, and it is not only uplifts the community, but it's a platform, a positive platform that allows Christian men and women to really walk in their gifts, you know, and have fun doing it and be a blessing. You know, I don't know, you know, being on a college campus and being around, well, what is that experience like? The Christian experience is like, oh, you know, we want to make it fun and chill for everyone, right, to just be interested. And I think that that's something that Toussaint does very well.
That's great. She has the first show sold out.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I didn't. Sorry, Trisha. I didn't drag the flyer out, and I probably should have. But we love you. We miss you. Hopefully, I have your picture up there when you were here last studio. So we look forward to having you back when you get back.
Woohoo! Should have a safe trip out there.
Yeah. And so we got a great show. This is our Life Edition, and with our Life Edition, we have people from all walks of life come through, and so today will be no different. So if you wouldn't mind keeping it right here, we're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our guest who will be on the show, Stephen Hyde, and the things that God has him doing. And I'm good, right? Yeah. So without further ado, I'm Ro Williams. And you are
Brianna Argueta.
And this is GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio. We'll be right back.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Saturday, February 28th from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Indigenous Rhythms presents the Culture Fest 2015 at the famous Simply Wholesome Restaurant located at 4508 Slauson Avenue on the corner of Slauson and Overhill. Enjoy live performances by X-Clan, Mad Lion, Medusa, General Job Mikey, and much more, like vendors and delicious food served all day by Simply Wholesome Restaurant. The Culture Fest 2015, sponsored by Martin Cadillac, California Ticketmasters, and Undeniable Inc. For more information, go to indigenousrhythms.com.
Hi, this is Starlet Quarles, and I'm inviting you to join us every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. for a new show right here on LA Talk Live, The Dialogue, Real Talk, Real People. Join us as we discuss the topics that are relevant to today's generational leaders. So don't forget to tune in to The Dialogue, Real Talk, Real People, every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. right here on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, and now Stitcher Radio. Or watch and listen directly at latalklive.com. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Like Marvin Gaye, can't you see what's going on? Through it all, gospel rhythm still going strong. Trusting God when it's good or when it's going wrong. Encourage other believers to keep holding on.
Hey, we're back with the life edition of GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio on LATalkLive.com. I'm Ro Williams.
Brianna Argueta over here.
Beautiful talent producer for GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio. I'm so excited what God is doing for us in 2015. Thank you so much,
No
girl.
problem.
Thank you
Thank you for
so
having me.
much. And Tricia, we know you're out doing your thing today. Do it up. Give Tucson our love. And for those of you who are just joining in, courtesy hopefully of our call to action, tell them a little bit again about you and where they can check out you and you walking in your gifts and other skills.
I am the host of Lucky Bees Hour at klbc.org. We broadcast from Long Beach City College. klbc.org is completely student ran. So I'm just up and coming. Hopefully to make it.
Yes, you are up and you are coming. Recognize. And you know what? Before we go into who's on our show today, I totally had a brain fart. Last week's show, we re-aired last week's show, and I think it was very fitting because on this Saturday, Saturday, February 28th, we have Indigenous Rhythms. You heard the commercial. If you were tuning in from the top of the show, the 2015 Culture Fest, and we were blessed to have the power team behind that event. And one of the great things of, even though it's regional and this is a worldwide platform that you get to see all over the world, you know, it may spark something inside of you to say, hey, you know, it's Black History Month, and maybe you missed it this year, but you know, it'd be good to next year in your corner of the world or your community to put on a culture fest. And what is that exactly involved? Well, one of the different things that I see from not only their talent lineup, but the vendors that are plugging into this event, is just to elevate the community and to bring the community together. I mean, Simply Wholesome is one of the sponsors is supporting this event, and they promote healthy eating. Simply Wholesome. I mean, have you ever eaten there? No, girl. No. I'm actually on a journey, you know, because it's supposed to be the season of Lent. I don't know if people practice that or whatever, but I'm really working on eating better myself. And so one of my vices has been junk food, you know. And so when I go in there, it is truly an experience because I don't naturally eat wholesomely, but we should, because we should be treating our bodies like a Maybach. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't put like crap gas in it, right?
No way.
Yeah. So, you know, so hopefully, you know, if you're in another part of the world and you can't actually make it, you can be inspired. You can go to indigenousrhythms.com and learn more about some of the artists like X-Clan, DJ Battlecat, Mad Lion, and
Medusa.
Yeah, and MC Supernatural. You know, DJ Crescosa. You a DJ after all y'all DJs have a network.
DJ John Mikey.
Now, DJ, are you a DJ like you spin DJ?
Yeah, I actually do a little DJing on my show as well.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have to say this: don't quit on God.
Don't quit on God. That's
right.
I
feel like that really means don't quit on yourself, because God is in you, and you quit on yourself, it's like, what is going on? So, so walk in your gifts, and oh my goodness, I don't know too many female DJs.
Yeah, a lot of people come to me and say that.
Yeah,
a lot
so
as well as we
may have to have you as a guest on the show to talk about like how you get into that. You know, I'm a DJ in Fantasyland. Waka, waka, waka. So without further ado, welcome again to the Life Edition. As I was sharing off camera with, that's probably Steve on hold. He's our guest. And so Steve, stand by. We will be bringing you in. I got Richard. He's like, we got somebody online. I'm like, I know, I got you, brother. I know. He go hold. I told him he got to hold till we bring him in right. So Steve Hyde, I've known him for years, and you ever meet people and they're just genuine good people, great people. Whenever you need it, I managed the building, and he had a gift as an artist, and I was like, Steve, I need somebody to come in and just bring some life to these walls, and he came in and just laundry room, but what he did with the word laundry room and the different things, it just brought life to that space. And, when you are blessed to meet people that make your world bright in the smallest of ways and give of themselves and never ask for anything in return.
Nothing at all. That's amazing.
They're truly, truly, truly a blessed person that God has brought to your life, and you should be grateful for that. And so, he had been communicating with me about some of the things he was doing. I knew when he left California after he left the church that we both attended, he went up to Big Bear. And then from there, his life is he's got married and different things he'll share. But he had sent me information because, you see someone in one light as an artist, you like, wow. But now you're sending me messages that you're an author. So he's the author of The Introvert's Fairy Story. He was born in Portland, Oregon. He was born in Portland, Oregon, a.k.a. Atlantis. And he's going to have to explain that to me, because Atlantis sounds like it's something underwater, but maybe there's something, because I'm not from there, I'm not getting, but you'll let us know what's that. So maybe that's why, as he says, he swims so well. He was raised in Los Angeles by his parents who were both ordained ministers. Los Angeles is where he started his career in special effects, working on numerous films, including Abyss, Titanic, both Oscar winners for Best Special Effects. You go, boy. And Back to the Future, Best Special Effects Oscar nominee. That's where he discovered and fell in love with In-N-Out Burgers. I love it. I happen to have that same addiction too. Yes. But I'm a believer in the Lord. And you know what? With two parents as ministers, like, really, you should be walking in some serious power. But we're going to have to talk about that. You might have got one too many trips down to the basement or the woodshed, and it just might have got knocked out of you, like it might have got knocked out of me, because my mama, when she went to lay hands on me to rid me of stuff, it was not necessarily with oil. It was with the rod and the staff. But anyway, I digress. Having moved to Oklahoma to assist his parents' retirement, he then moved to Plain, Texas to co-found, I don't even know what that, Motus Digital, I hope I pronounced that right. You'll correct me when you come on. The performance capture and computer modeling and animation studio. That sounds like a lot of fun. And we got to talk about that, because I'm into shows like FX and all that, where you have to do, that seems cool. So during that time, he met the love of his life, which, oh my goodness, can I rub against you like the Apollo law? Because I'm still searching. Danitra. And they were married soon after. So with a big heartfelt welcome, let's give Steve Hyde, who is all the way in, I don't know, you're in Texas now, right? You're not in Oregon anymore. A big welcome here to the studio. We love you, Steve.
Hello, Steve.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up? Now you're not in Oklahoma anymore. Where are you exactly?
Well, I was in Oklahoma. I went down to Texas to help co-found Motus Digital, and I came back to Oklahoma, so I'm back up here again.
Oh, okay, right on. Well, that part wasn't in there, but I'm glad I asked. So, oh my goodness, now you've been to all these. I don't want to even talk about Oklahoma, Texas. I'm like, wow, or Portland, Oregon. Let's start there. Why is it AKA Atlantis?
Oregon is known as AKA Atlantis because it rains there so much.
Oh,
the Atlanteans, they live in such high rain.
Okay.
So.
Right on. Well, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that for being available to come in and share your vision, but there's a story to, how you came to be this author, because I was laughing because I was saying, when you look at a person and you know where their gifts were when you met them, you have a different perception of what they're going to be when they grow up, so to speak. And so I didn't think author would be on your resume. So let's talk about this journey as a man of God with a dream to fulfill, because I knew you had some periods of struggle in between, your search to find what that is that God had for you.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far you want to go back, but you obviously were reared by two parents that loved you, and what was that growing up experience like, or the challenges that helped shape you to be who you are right now?
Right. Well, both my parents are ordained ministers in the Foursquare denomination, and I'm fortunate. God blessed that the Foursquare denomination preaches out of the whole Bible in context, Foursquare meaning complete. So, they can't take a verse here and say it means something when held against other verses, it actually doesn't, and so I really appreciate the Lord putting me in that environment. But growing up in that denomination, they weren't big on dancing and movies and stuff.
So you had a strict upbringing too.
Yeah. So my upbringing was a little more strict than I would have liked, but
Could you play cards? I couldn't even play cards. Were you allowed to play cards?
Yeah, we could play cards. We could play Uno and go.
No, I'm talking about like blackjack cards, not Uno cards.
In a sense of gambling, I suppose.
No, my mama couldn't. We couldn't go trick or treating. We couldn't do. How was your upbringing?
But eventually, they saw my creative gifts. I mean, my mom told me a story about when I was back in kindergarten. That during show and tell, I would always go up and tell. I would tell stories, and she told me that the teacher told her that I went into detail about the characters that I was talking to, what we talked about, any snacks we had, blah, blah, blah. And I was just always do that. Well, so Mom, having been an artist, and still is quite an artist, I was surprised a couple of years ago when she drew a couple of perfect hands on paper, and I didn't even know she had that, So anyway, she encouraged me to get into art and sculpting and drawing, painting, and stuff like that. All my life I've been doing that. In Cub Scouts, I actually produced a 10-minute skit for Christmas, and it involved, doing the sets, the props, and making Santa come in and off of the stage. And so anyway, it was pretty interesting how all that came together. But that's to preface another thing when I was talking with God. So I'm building models and doing stuff, making sketches and sculpting and everything, and it comes time to go to college. And I've been taking art classes all through my school career, but ironically, I didn't go to art college. And reason being is that my sister in junior high had gotten struck by a car, and part of the settlement was a trust fund. But when she turned 18, she got the money for the trust fund, and she was going to go to Bible college. And she said, "Hey, I'm going to Bible college. Why don't you come with me? I'll take care of your first semester." My parents, being ministers, were all for it. And they said, "Yeah, hey, and being alumni, you get the Children of Alumni discount." So I went, and first semester went well, and second semester went pretty good, but the economy was turning and it was hard to hold a job. So, I was falling behind, and then third semester was coming up, but I had to pay up on the second semester and get third in advance. And how those people have that thing where they pray and the Lord comes through at the very last tick of the clock. Didn't happen.
Well, one of the...
And I'm asking the Lord, what happened? I prayed. I thought I was doing your will. Come in here. And he goes, I didn't call you to ordain ministry. Right. I mean, we're all ordained. We're all ministers of the gospel.
Wait. Let me stick a pin in that right there, because, people assume, oh, you're white and you're in America and you're a man. You got it easy. But I know that, you were a man that, no, even though you were raised by two parents and they were Christian, people don't understand that people struggle all across the world, even if they have the most perfect conditions that they were raised in,
Yeah.
And what would you say? Now I can say it for you, but it's your story. What would you say in the midst of those dark times and the challenge of even questioning God? Like, I'm doing all this pledging for you and nothing seems to be manifesting. What kept you anchored and not giving up or quitting on God in your quest to your purpose?
That's a great question.
Well, I received the Lord when I was 11, and I've always had a close relationship with the Lord, having conversations with Him about my decisions and stuff. And He always showed me through different events and people and things how He works and how He always comes through when you're within His plan, and He's got a plan for you, and if you stick with it, and keep the faith, God's gonna come through. It's never in my timing. My timing is, okay, we got it, and we go.
Let me
His
tell
timing
you,
is, you're not ready yet.
No, God's clock is so not our clock. Especially, I mean, he kind of gives you a picture talking about 1,000 years is a day. I'm like, can we get the same setting? Because of and let's just fast forward a little bit too, because like I said, I knew you had been on the grind trying to search for work. At what point? Because I know you were between here and Big Bear. Did God kind of start bringing things together, or did he still not bring it together as far as the vision, or was it the changes in respects to your family situation that prompted you to like assisting your parents? Like, what was it that was the catalyst that continued to move you along to where you're at today?
Well, okay, when you knew me, I was working at Digital Domain on some films and stuff, and a lot of things went to New Zealand after Titanic. A lot of films went overseas because you could get, it cost a third as much to make a movie. I mean, who wouldn't do that, So, work became hard to get in film. So I was doing, handyman stuff. I think
painting.
I think you remember me when I was doing home repair, house painting, stuff like that.
Exactly.
And my folks decided to retire, and they were going up to Big Bear, and so I, said, well, where you're going, it needs a little work, so why don't I come with you, Mm-hmm. And they're ministers, they minister the gospel and save lives and stuff, and I'm a handyman, I make stuff, and I can, tighten things up, so I went up there, and, just helped them set up with that, and I had some work at a store over there for a while, and got some clients to do house repair for, and everything. And they figured out that it actually cost less to retire in Oklahoma, where Mom has some land. And so Dad bought the house, put it on Mom's land, and we decided to move out here. And here I am again, helping them button stuff up. And it's a modular home. It's a house that's built in pieces. It's not a mobile home, like a trailer home. It's a house. It's built in pieces.
Yeah, I see that you've made some practical moves. But I something that sticks out to me is you had this amazing career that people would give their right arm to be in, and working on some amazing projects. Way up here. Then life happens, and to many, they'll be like, man, you fell off. You way down here. That's what you're doing now? What was it that keeps you balanced? Because a lot of people, especially even being actors in this industry, you hot 1 minute, or even whether you're an actor or a recording artist or someone who has had some success in the private sector, and then find themselves on the bottom looking up of their life saying, man, I used to have it going on. And now it's like, because you pretty much, with you, and we'll get into it, we still have 30 minutes left in the show, as this author, you reinvented yourself. But before you got to that, there's a journey before that. And before the journey was that, there was something that happened that was a catalyst that kept you from giving up on the journey. You didn't quit on yourself. You didn't quit, because one of the things that I remember, your heart and your spirit, you never came off as a bitter person. Like, I didn't know that your body of work prior to the you that I met, the painter, the handyman, was all those things industry related that, are the glamorous, the glitz and the fun stuff, and the stuff that makes you feel like you're walking in your purpose, in a big way that matters,
Right.
So,
yeah. Well, yeah, it was fun doing all that stuff, and it was really creative, and it was a huge outlet, and I made a lot of good friends and connections and stuff. But yeah, when things dried up and everything went to overseas for a while, I had to trust the Lord. He was the rock, he's the foundation of my life, no matter what I'm doing.
But no, let me just say, you say that. But for somebody listening to you, what is the formula? Because if I was listening to you and I couldn't really understand how to process that, you just saying words to me. It's like, what did you go internally? What did you do? Like, well, I trusted the Lord, but that means nothing to me. What made you how could you trust somebody who seems to have messed you up and around and put you up here only to bring you down here? That doesn't sound like somebody who would love me. Like, what I'm you understand what I'm trying to get at? Do you understand what I'm trying to get at?
Yeah, that's not good faith.
Well, here's an analogy, like when you're farming and you take up, it has a fruitful crop, and it's wonderful, it's marvelous, and it fills everything, and it's abundantly beyond what you expected. You harvest it, and then you till the land, turn everything over, for replanting later, and those analogies of the Bible really helped me along, because the Lord was telling me, what I'm doing now is, we're killing things over. You've had this time of doing this. Now we're going to focus in on getting your stuff together, refining your skills, and set into this. Meanwhile,
doing a new
thing here and do this,
but doing a new thing. But even in the meanwhile, he puts you in a new thing. That's what I'm trying to get at, so that our listeners can see in your story. In other words, he used the agricultural reference to basically say, because agriculturally, what they do is they do toy the land, they make it rest, and sometimes they'll set it on fire, so that it can be prepared for the next season of seeds that are going to be sown for the crop that they want to harvest. And so I just wanted to get a perspective on what was the conversation you had with God. I recently had my girlfriend in Atlanta. She just moved to Atlanta and was boasting about how good God is, and he brought her to this new land, and not even a month and a half into her being in her new house. Now, mind you, her furniture is still here in storage, and she's sleeping on a blow-up bed with nothing in her apartment but maybe a TV and a computer, and she had a home invasion. Woke up in the middle of the night with a knife to her throat, talking about, give me all your money. And she was like, money? What money? And I would have been like, do you see what I'm sleeping on? I'm sleeping on a blow-up bed, and you had to walk through 3 empty rooms to get to me. Do you really think I have anything to give you? And she was really mad at God. She was like, how you bring me here? I'm about to get in my car and drive to Vegas and call it quits. You got to show me that you were here. And you know what she said in her moment of heated exchange with the Father, God told her and showed her, take a look at the situation. Did he touch you? Nope. All that screaming you were doing, did he violate you? Nope. And the things that he took, they were replaceable: the phone, the purse, and the ID. And even in the midst of the craziness, you were never touched. He still kept you.
Even with her not having anything in her home. Imagine if she had everything that she wanted. Yeah, all that could have been easily gone.
And then as a byproduct of everything that happened, they provided her with the alarm and the bars that she was thinking about getting but couldn't afford to get, and she didn't have to pay for any of it. So now she lives in, it's if you California, it's the difference between living in like the Ladera Heights and the jungles. You got crazy close enough to you, but you're in a beautiful area. But crime could go down anywhere. And sometimes things like that, and things like what happened in your story, they make you question God. They make you wonder, okay, what are you doing with my life, and why are you doing it this way? Because this way sucks. I'm speaking to the choir. It's like what's going on? And just equation the word. Even when you go to the word, sometimes you don't want to hear the word because it doesn't seem to medicate, if you will, your problems. You find that a lot.
It may not make sense right now, but eventually it will. I mean, it's going to come up again. It's all a matter of the way I see it. It's all a matter of keeping your faith, most importantly,
and passing the test. Because if you don't, like you said, you're gonna see that test again.
Yes.
How many times have I been in Groundhog's Day? I'm like, Jesus, will you please stop doing stand up on me in the heavens? Because I just feel like you are clowning me, because I am here again, just like the Israelites around Mount Sinai for the 40th time. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? We're going to go to a commercial break, so you keep it right here. And when we come back, we're going to talk about, in the last moments of the show, this book that you got going on, okay? And what you envision it doing, and anything else the Lord puts on your heart. This is Ro Williams,
Brianna Argueta,
and we're on the line with our Life Edition Steve High guest. We'll be right back with more GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio on LATalkLive.com.
Hey. We're revolving the way we deliver the gospel. Same message, different method, redefined apostles. And through Christ, we're empowered to shine. Everybody's VIP, ain't no way in the line. GospelRhythms.com. We make the word jam, the beat to which we live. We about to take the land. Let them know about Jesus, the anointed one. Gave us power and authority to get it done. He opens doors, so you don't gotta kick them down. I wrote this to remind you, so stick around. For heaven party here on earth. Praise God always.
Thank you for tuning in to LA Talk Live, reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we're more than just talk. Stay tuned. Indigenous Rhythms presents the 2015 Culture Fest, Saturday, February 28th from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. at the famous Simply Wholesome Restaurant, located 4508 West Slauson Avenue, corner of Slauson and Overhill. Come enjoy live performances by Mad Lion, Medusa, MC Supernatural, X-Clan, DJ Battlecat, and many more. Plus, there'll be vendors and delicious food provided by Simply Wholesome Restaurant. The 2015 Culture Fest, Saturday, February 28th, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. at Simply Wholesome. For more details, contact Indigenous Rhythms at 855-452-7685. That's 855-452-7685. Or simply visit indigenousrhythms.com. The 2015 Culture Fest, presented by Indigenous Rhythms, proud sponsors of the LA Talk Live events calendar.
Hubert's Lemonade, tasty, refreshing, sweet, and tart. Happiness in a bottle. Visit Hubert's Lemonade at hubertslemonade.com. Once again, that's hubertslemonade.com. Happiness in a bottle. Xavier.
Hi, this is Dr. Levi, your fitness doctor, making a personal house call, inviting you to join me Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific for my all-new show, The Dr. Levi Show. Join us as we discuss fitness, health, and well-being, including emotional and spiritual health. So don't forget to tune in to the Dr. Levi Show every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, exclusively on latalklive.com and the Talk Live Broadcast Network. You can also catch us on iTunes, Radio R&B, or watch us on Ustream.tv, or catch us on the Live 365 network. And now on Radio Flag and Stitcher Radio. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Yeah, it's me, your heart. Listen to me. We've got to talk. High blood pressure is serious, and yours? Whoa. What happened to us? We used to be so much more active. But lately you've been ignoring me. I know you think I'm just gonna keep ticking away forever, but you're wrong. You can do so much more to control your high blood pressure. Doing the minimum isn't doing enough. I'm under a lot of pressure and can quit whenever I want. Bet you didn't know that. But I like my job. Just treat me better. Check on me. Give me something green to nibble on every once in a while. And maybe we can do some exercise on occasion. Let's get to it. After all, we're in this together.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association.
Encourage other believers to keep holding on. Casting the vision and we making it plain. We the head, not the tail, so we won't complain. Here to lift up the downcast and the broken-hearted. Changing lives with the truth, so let's get it started. We got the word, music, entertainment, life. You can catch us on the air every Sunday night with special guests, the news, and in.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back. It's GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio Life Edition. I'm Ro Williams.
Brianna Argueta over here.
Our beautiful talent coordinator, Booker. He's sitting in for Trisha Mann Grant, who is out of town, working on a wonderful production with Toussaint Duchess Campbell in the beautiful state of Jacksonville. So we wish you all well down there. But if you're just tuning in, you will have to go back and check out the rest of the show. But this is our Life Edition, and we've been blessed to have Brother Steve Hyde. I mean, he has so many talents, but we are going to segue into talking about one of his latest babies that the Lord is birthing through him as an author. The Introverse Fairy Story. Welcome back, Steve Hyde. Woo! Yeah, Gospel Rhythms. You still there, right?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All the way from Oklahoma. What's the weather like up there, by the way?
Indigenous Rhythms.
Got hit by a blizzard.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
it's all turning to ice outside, and I still got to drive home. So
It's snowing
yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, my goodness.
California, it's
Yeah,
80 degrees.
Lord be with me.
Yeah,
Great.
you know, it's so funny because I had posted, I love Heat Miser, but I had posted a Amber Alert that y'all sent out for Heat Miser, the East Coast, because y'all were like wanted
Everywhere.
But oh my goodness, you have to send me a text picture. Now you said it's a blizzard, like you can't see anything, like for real.
No, we couldn't for a while. We couldn't see anything. It stopped now, but now it's all turned to ice. So I got to drive like 15 miles an hour, 20 miles away.
I wouldn't even want to drive.
Forget that. Ice. You got chains?
Yeah, I'm good. I got everything I need.
Oh my goodness!
It's gonna be a while.
I know. I feel really bad because you experienced nothing but sun and fun. But I think you got kind of broke you in because when you went up to Big Bear, you got the seasons up there, right?
Oh yeah, we got all 4 seasons up there. And it was beautiful. I love it. I wish I was there now. But yeah, no, it's beautiful up there, and it's actually nice out here too. It's a slower pace, and you've only got a 4-lane highway, 2 lanes each direction, so it's not so bad.
It's not so bad, but it's so cold, and so we're so sad because I'll kick it here to the on the West Coast. So you hold down the snow. We'll keep it here.
Just now getting some rain.
Okay, that's right.
It'd be LOL. That's what our weather is. LOL. So let's talk about Steve Hyde, the author. When did this transition come about? Because we left off. You had this awesome career working on all these working in special effects in the film industry, and God transitioned you because the industry changed and moved you to a phenomenal career and being supportive as a handyman and showing your gifts of painting and laboring that way, and you transitioned to assist your parents and you find yourself still doing the same thing. Fast forward to today, you're an author. So when did the writing, did it come before or after the love of your life?
Oh, before. It was in '83. I'd always had ideas for stories. I wrote down dreams that I would have or that I remembered, and I stored them. I just keep them aside, not knowing what to do with them. But then I had this one dream in '83 that started the whole Interverse Fair thing. And I wrote it down, and as I wrote it down, I went, well, why did they react this way? And I wrote down the laws, and this is the consequence, and this is why this happened. And I said, well, who are these people? And I started writing out them and their backstory, and then it just
first you need to let us know what them is, because we're like, huh? Mm-hmm. What you talking about?
Oh,
what's the Introverse?
Well, the Introverse Fair itself, and Leon, the main character, Leon Russell, and Makui, his fiance, in the first book.
And this is fiction?
Action where
what book classification? Just for our listeners, like what book classification is this?
Oh, it's science fiction.
Yeah,
science fiction comedy.
Yeah, well, we need to know that because it could be drama, it could be romance.
I see. Right,
yeah, we just need you to be as detailed.
Science fiction comedy with some action and
nice
suspense. It's just imagine yourself in another place, away from everything you know here on Earth, at another space station or whatever, and you're meeting these aliens that are way beyond your imagination. How are you going to react? It's like you're going to jump first, or whatever, and then you're going to go, oh, hey, hi. You're going to try and communicate with it or communicate with you or something. And I don't know. It's interesting the way these things come to me. It's like sometimes I pray to the Lord at a certain point in the story, and He just gives me this idea. For instance, in the stories, they travel throughout the entire universe, not just one galaxy as their universe. I mean, side to side, end to end, the whole universe by these teleportation gates. They call them porter gates. And, it's not Stargate, it's not Babylon 5, it's not a wormhole. I was at the gym one time. This is how the Lord works with me. How I work with the Lord, I should say. Where, I'm on a recumbent bike and I'm looking out the window of the gym to this tree across the street from me in the front yard of this house. And I said, Lord God, how do I explain the porter gates? How do they work? And He says, you see that tree? And I said, yeah. He says, there's an ant on a leaf, and he wants to get to a leaf that's just, a few inches away. But he has to walk down the branch, down the twig, down the branch, up the trunk to the other branch, to the other twig, to the other leaf. That would be normal space. A wormhole would be taking a thread from leaf to leaf, and he just walks across the thread, and it takes a lot less time. These porter gates, what they do is when the wind blows enough and the leaves come close enough, the ant just steps over in an instant. I said, oh, okay. And he says, and for that instant, he's at two places at the same time, simultaneously. And I went, all right, well, that'll be fun. So
it's so funny because, I was, I remember I saw a movie like The Last Mimsy, and, it's amazing because growing up, even though I grew up in a very strict home like you did, I always love sci-fi, science fiction, fantasy kind of movies. And it's just amazing how, the imagination and the mind is that, in terms of like, it's so intense. There are so many parts that we'll die and be gone, and we'll have missed exploring. So what drew you to the passion to begin the writing? Because you had like I said, we left off with you doing The Handyman. What was it? You just sat down one day, or were you journaling? Like, what was it that was the catalyst for you to say, aha?
What were your inspirations?
Yeah, the inspiration. I had been cataloging my dreams all this time, and that dream that happened that started the Introverse Fair, it just grew, and I realized, you know what, this is a thing. This is a thing. This is bigger. This is from God, because the things God gives you, when God gives you something, it succeeds and it grows. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is, a relationship, an idea, a friendship, anything that you put your hand to, if God's in it, it grows. And this just kept growing. I have tons of other stories out of this universe, sci-fi universe that this created. And I just realized that, this belongs to God as much as it belongs to me, because he's giving me the ideas and I'm writing them down and making the connections. And it's just these times when I was unemployed were the times that I was writing the stories into book format, and I realized this is opportunity. This time where I'm not working right now is opportunity for me to make this happen. So while I'm going out looking for work and, get the unemployment check and blah, 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 and pounding pavement, when I get home, I'm busting my butt making these stories come together and everything.
And you know what? You just hit on something that's very important. A lot of times when we're in that place, people, including myself, have a tendency to just do an activity that without even knowing, like, you just kept yourself productive in a positive way. Sometimes we get in that place where we're vegetating in front of the idiot box, or we're eating so horribly we gain 90 pounds after we've come out of our go through. You know what I mean? And so that's important to not, and I'm sure you're going to say, it was the word of God and me trusting God that kept you staying positive in the midst of maybe a not so positive time in your life.
Yeah. It was the Lord, and it was the activity. I can't sit still in front of a TV when I feel like there's something I can be doing, and the stories were it.
You mean doing to better and develop yourself?
Yeah, exactly. Well, for instance, I've had some prophecies over my life that I know are going to come true, and it's probably in this next season because they haven't come true yet. But my gosh, it's amazing what the Lord has planned, and it's like, okay, Lord, it's not yet. When? And He just says, just keep doing what you're doing. We're almost there, and I just keep going. But my other friends that were going through this time, some of them turned to, making props, special effects, whatever, for adult films and everything like that. And, it was like, there was a temptation there to do the work, but the environment was, no, it's not my gig. I can't do that. They know who I am as a Christian, and I can't do that. It would take my soul. I would feel soiled coming home from having a job like that, making stuff for that. I can't do that. I can't. And
so all money.
I look at them.
So all money.
How they changed, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I never did.
So I just want to extract the point out of that. All money isn't necessarily good money.
Not at all.
No, all money is not necessarily good.
So we're down to our last 5 minutes. Now, where exactly are you with your book? So that people that may want to find out or learn more about it, just hearing about your story, hopefully will be inspiration to some who may have a gift that, they just didn't think it was a gift, but they thought was just a book full of ideas and notes from dreams or journaling that they're like, wow, maybe my ideas and dreams could become a book as well. So where can they get to check out some of your product, or when are you published, or where are you online? Like, how could they learn more about your product, get your product, and connect with you, what you're doing?
My question was, are you planning on creating some type of book tour, like maybe going state to state to pretty much promote your book?
Well, Tales of the Introverse Fair is the name of the series, and each book has its own title. The Gov is the first book I've done. That's available on Amazon Kindle and print on demand. You can get a hard copy of it. Then Blowfish Universe is the second one. The Extra Universals is the third one, and Saving Time is the fourth. And I'm writing the fifth one right now.
So where can they pick up your books again?
Amazon.com.
Okay, and
Amazon Kindle.
Right.
And you can go to Barnes & Noble and order, or any other bookstore like that, and order a print-on-demand version of the Gov. And look, man, anybody has a dream about writing and they don't think they're good enough, just write, okay? You have a story. Just imagine yourself sitting with your friends, and you relate something that happened that night. You're telling a story. And while you're telling that story, you're captivating your friends, and they're into it. Tell the story like that. Write it like that. If you have to go to classes, go to classes. I did, I took creative writing classes because I knew I had stories to tell. I just didn't know how. And if that's what it takes, do it, and write. It's a wonderful form of expression, and if nothing else, if you're frustrated, it gives you a means to express your frustrations rather than, beating up on somebody or whatever. You put it down on paper and it's done,
Do you ever sit back and think to yourself like, wow, why did I decide to write this type of story?
Yeah. Once in a while, I check something out that I wrote down, and it's been years, and it's time to pick it up again and refine it and turn it into a book. And I'll look at that and I go, Lord God,
and
where did that come from?
And I got to tell you, we had a author when she was about to launch her first book, Lola Saintville. And she is exploded. We have to bring her back in because, she's got bestseller after bestseller after bestseller. And it's amazing how, just like the internet changed the game of the music industry, it's changed the game of the publishing industry. We had, do you remember T. Faye Griffin? She went to Oasis for a short time, and she ended up at New Dawn. But she was she used to do a segment on our show as well, and she published a book, Morning Man. It was a devotional book, and hers started just by doing like little daily postings, like here's a little tidbit for your morning soul, so to speak. And
right.
It's just amazing how it's just amazing how it has truly changed the landscape of publishing. But we're out of time, but I just want to thank you for coming on and sharing your story. Do you have a Twitter or
I've got a
website? Yeah. Go ahead.
Steve Hyde's IntroverseFair.com.
Steve Hyde.
And it'll take you to my website, show my bio. It shows the books, and I have links to where you can get them.
Yay! Well, thank you so much for being on our show. You've been a blessing, and it's been an awesome Life Edition. Thank you so much, beautiful lady. We have Brianna Argueta. And she held it down in Trisha's absence, and she did a wonderful job. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you, and all of our behind-the-scene players. And Peter Gabriel, we got to give you some love. Yes, they're shooting, taking pictures and everything. So with that being said, hopefully we will see you next Sunday. This is GospelRhythms.com, Talk Live Radio on LATalkLive.com. Life Edition. Mwah.
Platform for the kingdom to give God the glory worldwide, and we live on the Ustream. What you know about the Gospel Rhythms magazine? But God's in it, you don't gotta chase dreams. You need to check us out and see what we mean. Catch the vision. Okay. Every party. Singers, rappers, spoken word, and actors, and business owners, playwrights, and pastors. There's many gifts to encourage the body. Consider this an invitation, come and kick it and party. We're evolving the way we deliver the gospel. Same message, different method, redefined apostles. And through Christ, we're empowered to shine. Everybody's VIP, ain't no way in the line. GospelRhythms.com. We make the word jam, the beat to which we live. We about to take the land. Let them know about Jesus, the anointed one. Gave us power and authority to get it done. He opens doors, so you don't gotta kick them down. I wrote this to remind you, so stick around. For heaven party here on earth. Praise God always, and we keeping them first.
Gospel rhythms, catch the vision.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.